Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shawn and welcome to my home. Today I am so excited to be sharing with you a great breakfast sandwich alternative to keep in your freezer. I like to keep a stash of them in my freezer for my husband, my grandchildren. It's just something quick and easy to grab in the morning. I don't have time every morning to make my husband breakfast before he has to leave for work. I do get up and I pack him his lunch every single day because that's the kind of wife I am. But I also have the children in the house at that time, and I can't always make him a nice hot breakfast to go like I would like to. So my alternative is to always keep nice breakfast sandwiches, breakfast wraps, different types of a breakfast food in my freezer. Well, we've gone through them all, and now I need to put more in it. So instead of doing just the basic traditional type of sandwich I always keep in there on an English muffin or wrapped in a tortilla, we are going to take our cue from McDonald's. We are going to make McGriddle breakfast sandwiches to keep in our freezer. How good does that sound? I am so excited to share this with you. So, without any further ado, let's get into this. Meet you at the stove. Oh wait, we're at the stove. It's easier than you think to get them done. This takes no time at all, a little bit of prep in the kitchen, and you can have a week or two's worth of breakfasts stocked away in the freezer for your family and yourself. So the first thing we're going to do is I have my oven preheating at 350, and I am going to take some of these delicious eggs from my hens, and I am going to crack them in a bowl. So I've got about 10 eggs in my bowl. I've also added some half and half, which is what I like to use, as well as some salt and pepper. And now I'm just going to use my immersion blender whisk attachment, and we're going to get this all whisked up together nicely. Good to go. If you don't have an immersion blender, I highly suggest getting one. They are just so useful, and I love the whisk attachment, especially for someone like myself with arthritis so bad in my hands. It makes it easy. All right, so we've got this all whisked up. Now what do we do with it, you ask? Let me show you. Well, we have our cookie sheet, and what I've done is I've just put some of that amazing Reynolds Wrap non-stick aluminum foil in there, which is going to make it easier for me to get the eggs out. I'm just going to give it, even though it's non-stick, I'm still going to give it a little spray with some canola oil. And now I'm just going to take my egg. We're going to gently add it to our pan. There we go. And now we're going to take this pan and we're just going to pop it right into the oven. The reason that we are doing it on this is this will give us a great consistency for our eggs. I'll be able to slice them and get perfect squares or circles. I could use a cookie cutter if I wanted to cut them out. Perfect sizes for the sandwich. So I find putting it on a cookie sheet makes it easier. But let's get this in the oven at 350. It's been preheating, it's ready for it, and then we can move on to the next step. You could either do this with bacon or sausage, or you could omit that if you wanted. You can put in your sandwich whatever you want. My husband personally enjoys sausage with his pancakes, so I'm going to make these ones sausage and not bacon. I just have 6 sausage patties in my frying pan, and I'm just going to fry them up. I always use a splash guard or a splatter guard. I'm not really sure exactly what they're called, but there's nothing worse than grease going all over your stove and kitchen, and oh, I just hate that. So we're just gonna let these sausages cook up a little bit, and when they're done, we'll get to the good part. While our sausage is cooking, I am just getting my pancake batter ready. And I actually like to use Bisquick. I really like the taste of their pancakes. It's just easier for me. This is not the Bisquick complete one. This is, however, just the regular Bisquick mix. I also like to sift my mixture. And the reason I do that is because there are always lumps and clumps in your pancake mix, and by doing this it just makes it so much lighter and airier and so good. So we sift it and then we flatten our lumps out. How good does that look? Our sausages are done, and now I just have some oil in my skillet heating up. I don't want my flame very high. I want to actually turn it down. We want to go low and slow to get this done. So once this warms up enough, I'm actually going to use 2 of my quart canning lids. No, not lids, rims. Whatever you call them. Rings. They're rings. And this is the shape that I'm going to go for our breakfast sandwiches, which this actually works perfect with our sausage, so the sausage will fit very nicely inside of there. As you can see, it just goes good. Makes it easier to keep it a little more uniform. So we're going to set our rings, and I'm only going to do 2 at a time because I want to keep them as flat as possible, and flat seems to be the middle. And to that we are just going to add a little pancake mix. Put some over here. Perfect. Now we're going to wait so we can start to see the bubbles. And you are not actually going to want to pick up these rings. These rings are going to be hot, so you're going to want to do it with tongs when it's time. So we're just going to let this go and wait to see those bubbles. Alright, we got our rings in there. I'm going to add us a little bit of the batter. Drip, drip. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of the syrup right on top of that batter. And we're just going to leave it like that. We're going to let them form, wait for us to see the bubbles, then we'll know it's time to flip. And you can even add a hair more batter over the syrup. It's entirely up to you for how you want to do it. Everything is going really good. Again, we do not want to touch these rings with your hand. Obviously, they are going to be very hot. So we're going to just use our tongs. We're going to go in and remove them off. There's one. There's 2. And look at how perfect these are. This is the best way to do it. It just keeps its shape so nicely for these sandwiches. Look at that. You can absolutely smell all of the maple syrup inside of that pancake. Because personally, for me, there's nothing worse than trying to eat a pancake that has no maple syrup flavor to it. I am not one of those people. I need to have some butter and some maple syrup on my pancakes for me to enjoy them. But this is the other way to do it, where it's already in there, just like McDonald's did. Perfect shape every time. Love this. My house smells so good, it's making me so hungry. My husband might not get any of these. Just kidding. We have our McGriddles. I have my egg, I have cheese, and I have my sausage. We are going to assemble these now. What I'm going to do with my eggs is I'm actually going to use a cookie cutter, which is relatively the same size. You could even use the lid of the canning jar that we used to cut out our pancakes. But I'm just going to do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There will be extras. This will not be wasted. This will just go into a breakfast casserole for tomorrow. All right, put some saran wrap down first, and I put my bottom piece. I'm going to next put a sausage piece. Then we will add one of our egg cutouts. Now, if you wanted to even be perfect with your cheese and you didn't want to do it square, you could just cut it. Cut it, pop it, fit it. And then the leftover piece of cheese right here can easily go into a casserole with the rest of our egg. Top it. And there you have it. This is a perfect McGriddle sandwich. How good does that look? Oh my goodness. So to this, we are just going to wrap it up. The only thing that you want to make sure of is that the entire surface is covered. That will keep the air off. And here's our McGriddle ready for the freezer. All you're going to have to do to this when you want to take one out to have is take it out from the freezer, remove the plastic wrap from it, put a piece of paper towel around it, and pop it in your microwave for 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, depending upon the wattage, and you have a nice, hot, delicious, tasty McGriddle sandwich. And there you have it. Breakfast McGriddle sandwiches from your own freezer. How yummy do these look? Oh, and I can promise you, not only do they look yummy and smell yummy, these taste amazing. It tastes like a McGriddle. There's literally no difference as far as I'm concerned. And I notice differences. I don't find one with this. So now all we're going to do with these is take a zipper freezer bag. We're going to set them in there. I don't know if these are going to make it the week. I'm not sure if they will last or if I will have to make more. But either way, they're ready for the freezer now. And remember, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me again today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. There's so much more to come, and I wouldn't want any of you guys to miss it. I hope you enjoyed today's McGriddle lesson. I just think it's something fun to switch things up. The kids will love it. The family will love it. It's a great, easy breakfast sandwich. They're great for trips. If you're going somewhere, you can heat them up, throw them in the bag, take them with you. We've actually done that. And when they got a little bit cold, I just kind of tossed them right on top of the dash where the heat was. And I swear, like 60 seconds later, they were warm because they're already cooked. You don't have to cook them. It's just a matter of keeping them warm. And you can't beat this. McGriddles.